hopping on? It's your homie ATM.
And it's your boy O.
And we are the Lingo, baby.
Back again,
episode 5. Right? 5? Yes,
five
yes, sir. Correct. Episode 5.
Season 3.
Season 3. And we have a very special guest here.
I've seen him, dancing. You know what I'm saying? Getting crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
You probably ain't seen it in a minute, but you know what I'm saying?
They know what's going on.
They know what the fuck is going on, man. It's the real
BSmoove.
BSmoove.
Know what's up with me.
Feel me? BSmoove and guests
You know what I'm
in the
saying?
stew.
Yeah, it's a full
It's a full house. It's a full house.
Moves,
Full set, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Smooth the moves.
Feel me?
Your ones and twos, your don'ts and do's.
Okay.
Shit, mate.
That's a genuine question. Like,
Come on, me, music?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm actually working on like an EP, like a 7-song EP.
Okay.
Before the year's over and stuff like that. I've been trying. The only reason why I haven't dropped it yet is because I'm very picky on beats. I'm really big on my beat selection and stuff like that. I feel like everything got to stand out, especially for your first project.
Word.
I'm not here to just try to rap, to rap the niggas, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Tell us about your sound.
you know what I'm saying? I feel like for the most part, mine is more of a boom bap, you know what I'm saying? I kind of like jump in between that. I like a lot of the new mumble stuff too, so I'm not going to say I'm not going to do it, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I feel like it's kind of funky. It's kind of smooth.
It's funky?
It's kind of funky. It's kind of smooth, you know what I'm saying?
Smooth for BSmoove, you know what I'm saying?
Very on brand. Very on brand.
Very on brand, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, bro, that's what's up. Like, you doing a whole home studio kind of thing. I feel like it's something new.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah. For the most part, the first few songs I ever recorded on SoundCloud right now are in my kitchen. So,
Shit.
you know what I mean? Like my boy will come over, we'll set up right in the kitchen, and we'll take our shots. We're gonna smoke our bleeds. We're gonna get to it.
freestyle?
It depends. It depends how we feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like for the most part, again, I'm very big on beats. So usually I write verses before I even hear beats sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I would just throw, if I find a good beat for the verse, I'll just, throw the verse onto that beat and I'll call it a day. But for some of the songs I plan on doing, I'm just going to freestyle it. I'm going to go crazy.
Word.
Yeah.
As you should.
Come on.
So how do you feel now that you're dropping something?
I'm really excited, you know what I mean? For the most part, it's just I just want to make sure it's as genuine to me as possible. You know what I mean? I'm not here to ride nobody wave and nothing like that for real. So,
Yeah, nobody can tell you nothing when it's bro, this is me.
Exactly.
I have no idea who you are,
yeah,
but this is me.
My nigga, nah, for real.
And it's not even against nobody that's out here, if, let's say, I'm not even calling it mimicking sounds, but it's just that's following a certain type of trend in music and stuff like that. I mean, listen, man, get your paper, feed your family. But it's
get how you living.
Yeah,
I feel like it's so hard to talk about that shit and everyone's so quick to claim something, that's
their
me.
sound.
That's bro. And I feel like you sound like a lot of niggas. You know,
you do. You sound like a lot of niggas.
Nah, seriously though.
So how do you distinguish? Is it in the beats? Is it what? I mean, guess your authenticity and your specific stories.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, because not only is it about beat selection, because I'm really big on how it sounds. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing to make a song that's that's heavy on lyricism or anything in between, but once you actually put it down into it's not. I guess it's not really tethered the same way that's supposed to. I guess almost.
Word.
It's yeah, man, I don't know.
No, yeah. I feel like something you work on all
you know
the
what
time.
I mean?
You're oh yeah, I remember I did that on the last track. I'm trying to
because
keep
it's
that
all
signature
about
sound or that signature flair.
It's one thing to have a signature sound, but the thing is a lot of cats don't have a signature sound, but everybody making money, so it's just we're at a place in hip hop is we're at a flux, you know what I mean? Whereas there's a lot more free will, there's a lot more liberty, a lot more running around space in terms of hip hop, because hip hop has become such a broad statement in regards to music because of how it incorporates everything now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
highly saturated too. What do you think? Everybody are just taking the time to start getting into that lane. I feel like more and more. Maybe it's just people I bump into, but I don't know.
And again, there's none against it, you know what I'm saying? If you make it sound good, you know what I'm saying, do your thing. But I feel as though if you're gonna ride, or if you're gonna do a certain type of trend or ride a certain type of wave, make it your own. That's my biggest thing about it, you know what I mean? Because we all got our inspirations from somewhere. Which way you cut it, it doesn't matter what rap you want to talk to me about. They got it from somewhere else.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So, point of the matter is, we're going to have our influences, and you're going to be able to hear it in our raps anyway.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's all you have to do is still make sure that you still have your own spin on it. You know what I mean?
So, that being said, who are your influences?
Mine? Wow. Wow, that's tough.
The secret sauce. It's
man.
really the gabagool.
The real ones.
The gabagool.
You know what I'm saying?
You're so stupid.
About to
for
preach
real,
that gospel, man. Regulations.
Regulations.
Should be. Nah, but I'm really big on I like Rakim.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm really big on Rakim. Shout out to the God MC. It's funny. I was talking to Jabril about this the other day. I started fucking with Cameron heavy recently.
Yes, sir. I feel like I've been having mad conversations about Cameron recently.
I've been fucking with Cam. I fucks with Cam.
God, Cameron.
But mine is Lil Wayne, Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? You know, even though they all got their own problems and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
type shit, of course.
Those are my niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Those are my niggas.
Speaking of Lil Wayne,
I'm really surprised you didn't throw Joey in there.
Nah, Joey is.
Yeah,
Come on.
I was about to say.
Anything Brooklyn is a go.
Anything Brooklyn is a go.
Anything I still bumped his on.
Wait.
Don't play around.
Where you
From Harlem.
Harlem world.
I was dead about to say.
Nah, shout out Harlem. My pops was from
5 out of 5?
Harlem.
Shout out Harlem, man.
But it's okay. Shout out Harlem.
My pops, they lived in Spanish Harlem. Shout out Harlem.
Only artist I like heavy Jack from Harlem is Big L and Cameron. Cameron's from Harlem. Right?
Yeah, man, Dipset.
And of course, but that's just
That's
given. You know what I'm saying?
You only got Mace out there.
You got Mace up
Shout out
there?
Mace. That's
Oh, if we're speaking about Mace, let's talk about how Cameron hoed Mace. Let's talk about how the industry hoed Mace. Can we talk about it? Let's talk about how niggas hold Mace.
I'm not too familiar with the story. I know
Y'all familiar with the story?
You gotta lead us in. I mean, I feel like we
Nah,
hear
I'm
about
lead
Mace
y'all in when
as
I
a
got my
figure.
notes. When I got my notes,
We have
I'll
your
lead
notes.
y'all in.
Okay.
But bro, all I know is Mace was holding to so many deals and never got his bread, bro. Mace got hold at so much money.
Alright, if you really want to talk about it, alright. Is that what we want to talk about?
He said that we talking about.
If we want to talk about it, we know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's Bad Boy.
It is Bad Boy.
Yo, bro.
It is Bad Boy. If we really talk about it, it's Bad Boy.
If you join and I love Bad Boy, Diddy, sign me.
100%. Sign me.
Diddy,
I want to work with Bad Boy.
But it's just Bad Boy, either you die or you go to jail.
So
or you just fall off the face of the earth.
So you talking about the East Coast death row?
Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, that's what we gonna call it.
I mean, by those same standards,
at least Bad Boy still exists. And that's gonna be
fuck Suge Knight. Point blank period.
They exist,
I'll put that out there, but
I was watching some shit on VladTV. He was making niggas drink piss. That's dumb wonky.
Huh?
Hell yeah, Suge Knight.
I can't support VladTV.
Yeah, how you feel about VladTV overall?
Bro, that nigga's an instigator.
I
want
to talk. We could talk about that. I'm heavy on that.
Yeah, I never anytime I ever watch VladTV, never been really talking about nothing positive. There's always something.
Bro,
he always brings a negative out of any guest that he has.
That shit does
out of every guest. So I'm like, yeah.
This is my thing with
Vlad. This is the visuals of it.
Yeah, this is my thing with Vlad. It's just thank you. Appreciate you.
No
but
here's my thing about Vlad.
Yeah, my thing is about Vlad is that I just think he's very insensitive to certain topics and concepts in regards to black community stuff because he's not black.
Not black.
You know what I'm saying? He's a white Jewish guy. You know what I'm saying? A white Russian Jewish guy.
Yeah.
He's definitely a totally different bracket of whatever it is that of the people that he's talking to. You know what I'm saying? So I feel I'm not even going to necessarily say he's an instigator because these are all dudes that that are supposed to be tough, supposed to be going through the system. They know not to talk about certain stuff on certain occasions. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
But my thing is
if you know he's the feds,
okay.
You know he's the feds.
But I say he's an instigator because he uses it for monetary gain. I feel like he leaves things in videos and then makes the videos about it where clearly that should have been edited out.
Yeah.
Right? So I was watching a video of his doing some research on Conway the Machine, right? And the video title was yeah, right.
I watch all of them.
He bugs Conway bugs out over on Vlad. And I watched the video, and it's literally towards the end, and Conway didn't even bug out. He was just trying to clarify something.
Yeah, very clickbaity.
Right, it's very clickbait. And that was the last 20 seconds.
The reason why it's tough to even maneuver around that is because that's just how media is. You know what I'm saying? That's how everybody.
Vlad really he could have edited that out. That could have been an easy
the way I perceive Vlad is I like his videos. When I'm watching them shits, I'm really interested.
They're good interviews.
Yeah, because he's talking to everybody. He's talking to mafia leaders. He's talking to the biggest drug dealers in the world. Some of the biggest hip hop artists.
To interview with him and why are they saying so much to him? So it's the comfortability is one thing, but the other thing is also it just seems anytime he's talking to somebody is it has to be something negative. And it almost, the perception, for me, almost is like, if I'm talking to someone in the black community, it's like, the only way I can speak to them is if I'm talking to them about something negative in that light. If it's not shooting, if it's not gang, if it's not murder, it has to be something like that, or else I can't relate to them. And that's kind of the visuals I see from it. Even though it's great content, it's like, it's kind of like perpetuating that same thing that hip hop at the beginning was perpetuating, just the negativity and not the actual black community as
it's
what it is as a whole.
I'm sorry.
But that's kind of how I see it.
Don't make me negate that for you.
I'm not, you can negate it.
Hip hop in the beginning was not doing that.
I wouldn't say in the very beginning, but I feel like the industry kind of morphed into that cookie cutter.
Gangster rap, like that shit, yeah. No,
the thing is, that's not
yeah.
reflecting on the negative. That's
not.
just perpetuating
just
what is happening in the
yeah.
reality of people that are.
That's what they were trying, but media made it negative.
I feel like they make it the only reality.
Media made it gangster rap.
And that's how I look at it, because media is very powerful. So when you have a guy in the media that's doing this on a very big stage, and it seems like everything he talks about is negative, that kind of paints the whole picture of the people he's talking about, like every
something negative.
Yeah,
I think it's cool too.
He does talk about positive shit too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but like, definitely what his channel.
You know what? It's just like you gotta know. You also gotta know your clientele. Like you have to also take into account the people that he's bringing into these situations. Like literally, their backstory is all of those negative things. Like for the most part, like those are the things they're willing to tell you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When they mention, like when they interview an artist, right? Whether it be like when they interviewed Herbo or when they interviewed anybody else for that matter, right? They're gonna come out and be like, "Hey, since this is our first time interacting, tell us about your childhood, tell us about your past."
Right.
They're gonna talk about it's usual single parent household shit, and they go about their story, whatever the case may be, and then next thing you know, it's like, "Oh, when did you start getting involved in XYZ?" And the only reason why that question is asked is because that is the image that you're perpetuating to the world. So it's like, if you're gonna ask me, you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna talk about how blood you are this, so you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then and I ask you, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna be like, so yeah, like obviously this is your lifestyle and this is something that you want the world to understand or know. So it's like, I'm gonna ask you, what made you get involved with this? How was this? This is that and the fourth. They don't talk about open cases.
Right.
Keep that into account too.
You
don't talk about open cases.
I'm not even looking at it in the sense of just locking people up. Like, I don't even, if you are free to say what you want, so you should know what not to say.
Exactly my point.
My thing is just how he frames the interviews at times.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's like literally like, I'm not mad about the interviews. I'm not mad about what's going on in interviews. It's like what you take the interviews and how you frame it.
The visuals of it too. Because I don't even like when I see black media outlets that just talk negative. I'd be like, yo, what are you talking about? Like that's kind of like I don't really like to look at that.
It's very it's very obvious he's using it for gain, because he takes videos. In one interview, he chops up in several videos, and then they get multiple views on those videos, and it's more revenue.
He drops the full video for the hour. He's so smart. Like he's.
Absolutely.
Yo,
absolutely. But the way he centers in on those segments, it's like
I don't know. Like,
and my thing is I'm sure it's nothing about his character. Like he probably grew up around people like this, and that's kind of just how he is. But it's just like the visual aspect of it. Like when I look at a white person that's just only talking about the negative, when they talking to a black guest, it just doesn't. It just kind of rubs me the wrong way at times. But I still be watching it because
it's interesting stuff.
And that's
why.
And that's kind of the catch.
You looking at this nigga who's still not an AAS minor? Like he might as well be at this point. Like
what's up with that? That's all you was.
I mean, a label.
Are you sure you need an internship, bro? Because I
don't know what they was saying.
I don't think so. Because I'm not.
I gotta check. I gotta call Mr. What's that? Dr.
The peoples and them.
Dr. Herbert, yeah. You gotta ask him, bro, because you might as well be at this point.
Back to the matter at
hand. Real quick, just to talk about Vlad, just to chop it up real quick, get a quick synopsis. But it's like, my biggest issue with Vlad again is just how he talks about certain topics. It's not necessarily about what he's saying; it's about how he goes about his conversations. Like one thing, a perfect example, right? When people were talking about the Dr. Sebi documentary coming out, right, that Nick Cannon, I believe, was supposed to be a part of, production-wise, something amongst those lines, right? And he would just sit, and then and then we'll talk about that too. But like the interesting part is about that interview is the fact of how much he like just discredits Dr. Sebi just due to the fact of like not necessarily like, you know, just not black and white paper telling you everything that he's capable of doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's just very insensitive to a lot of stuff, a lot of black culture stuff. You know what I'm saying? He has a very weird way of like, you know, titter-tatting around certain topics and kind of like, I don't know. It just comes off really like, you know, white man in the room. And, you know, it kind of comes off really bad. Like, because he is. You know what I mean? Because, like, he was talking about Dr. Sebi, and he was like, listen, like, I don't think any of that's real. Da-da-da-da-da. And, ooh, you know what I'm saying? All this other stuff, you know? And I also understand what y'all talking about with the clickbait stuff. Because I remember I just recently watched a VladTV interview with Shaka Khan, right? And, shout out to Shaka Khan. But, I remember he was talking, it was like an interview where it was like, I'm mad that Kanye West used my Through the Fire sample. I hated the song or something like that. That was the title of the video, right?
Very cool.
And yeah, shit,
that's half the time I click on it.
Yo, bro, it's very direct and very straightforward. That was the literal like label of the video, right? And then when you watch the video, it was just like, what she didn't like was the fact of how like her voice sounded on the sample. It wasn't necessarily that the nigga used the sample, you know what I'm saying? But the way you're gonna write it for the video blog is like, oh, she hates the song. She doesn't fuck with Kanye. And now I have to come to that resolution. You know what I mean? Bro. That's not cool. So I can understand where y'all coming from with that. You know what I'm saying? I only like it because he really do give me insight on a lot of stuff that I might not know about sometimes when it comes to certain lifestyles. You know what I'm saying? Because when you talking to, I remember he was talking to one of these mob dudes, something Costello, I mean, something like that. But it was like, he was talking about how, like, you know, he used to, like, mess around with Marilyn Monroe. And he was like, you know what I'm saying? It was just, like, so many interesting stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, like, so many different connotations. How he used to, the correlation between the Kennedys and the Mafia, because he was involved in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the type of conversations that pop up on VladTV that you can't just get on any media surface. You know what I'm saying? That is true. So that's why I enjoy it. That's what I'm saying. That's where the interesting part kicks in. So I can fully hear what you're saying. Word. I don't know, Vlad, you a funny dude.
What a rabbit hole.
That's real shit.
That's real shit though, bro.
He's really a big pillar in hip hop community. Like a lot of artists willingly go to Vlad. You know what I'm saying? And want to talk to Vlad. And that's because they know they're gonna get their views.
And that's the thing about it. When I see it, I'm like, dang, like it almost at times I almost wish it was like, dang, if it was somebody of color in that position who was doing it, I would feel more comfortable because that's a very powerful position, especially when you're talking about the detriments of the community that we live in. Like we don't like those things. It's just that's our reality.
Wow.
That's all I got to say on that.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know.
I'm like looking at y'all like, how did we get into this?
Because we was talking about music, you know what I'm saying? So that's there it go.
But now that Nick Cannon stuff, like, people was talking about how things was going to happen to him with that Dr. Sebi documentary, and he ain't died, but I mean, Wildin' Out is gone. Like,
did that shit drop? Oh, that's gone for some other shit, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, is this the start?
Damn.
I love how they just kicked him off his own show.
Wildin' Out's been gone for a minute.
And you know what's crazy? This is a fun fact about Wildin' Out. The company that took away Wildin' Out from Nick Cannon didn't even pay for his pilot episode. He had to come out of pocket for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He built that shit by himself.
Yeah, like
I don't know why he gave it away. I don't like that. Like I never knew he gave that away. I thought that was all his.
I thought that was his.
Up until this point. I'm like, bro, you sold that?
Oh, I was like, there's no way it's all his. I never thought that. I'm like,
I thought that he had
a network, nigga.
No, I thought that
I guess around that time you could assume that, you know, it's probably other, you know, forces at play.
This was on YouTube.
Some of the things
niggas was watching shit on YouTube.
You ain't have enough control to where they can kick you out. Like
damn, I really.
You at least have the majority. Oh man,
it's just tough because Nick Cannon was like the poster boy for like a cool black guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he had him for like America's Got Talent. He just got him for stuff. Like you gotta be a certain notable black guy to be like the host of America's Got Talent.
Who is it now?
You know what I'm saying? Terry Crews.
It is Terry Crews.
Oh yeah, we gotta chop it up about him too. Woo. We ain't forget about you.
We ain't forget about you,
big bro.
Everything could have stopped after White Chicks.
Everything,
bro. It's just.
He said, wait!
The
deception.
Son made a new connotation for Coon. Like he's
it's kind of crazy.
Yo, brother man, what's going on? What's going on, big bro?
No,
we gotta tap into that.
Yeah, we gotta tap in, man.
What's the new music everybody's been listening to? How?
Trigger.
Yeah, I heard he dropped. I downloaded that a few days ago. About to tune in.
Who else did I listen to?